Steven Jackson, what are you talking about? Welcome to the Daily Thinker, where we talk about theology and basketball. Today, we will talk about Steven Jackson and Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, who said, hey, I don't think Bronny should be playing with his dad. And Steven Jackson responded in the comments and said, dude, shut up. Your dad isn't LeBron James, and basically you are a bum. You will never be Bronny. You were never close to Bronny. Basically is what Steven Jackson is saying in the comment section. And this is so interesting to me, man. But what Austin Rivers had to say about Bronny James, let's take a listen.
Are you keeping it just back there?
I mean, I hope it doesn't happen.
What do you mean?
I don't want to see Bronny play with his dad. I really don't.
Why?
I went through something similar. It was a very similar situation, but also different. I was already in the NBA when I went to go play for him. What happens is a lot of people start to discredit everything that you've done. This kid has been in the limelight since he was born. First day on Instagram, he had 1 million followers. He's handled it so well. He's played well in Sierra Canyon amongst talent and was able to get himself to a school like USC. Right now, his numbers don't scream pro. So if he is to go in the draft or if he gets picked, it'd be great to get picked up by a contending team that could help him, put him in a situation, because he does have talent. He does have basketball IQ. He has potential. Him going and play with his dad, at this point in his career, just because Bronny's success isn't at a top tier level,
right?
Him getting drafted and playing with his dad, I don't want that negativity to come his way because he doesn't deserve it. He's not a top 10 pick. He's not a lottery pick. He's none of those things. I was all those things. And then still, when I went to go play for the Clippers, people were like, oh, you're only in the league because you're that. After me being the #1 player in the United States 2 years prior.
Right.
This is a whole different situation. And at a different level, because, yeah, Doc's great. LeBron James is the most popular basketball player to ever play, other than who? Maybe Michael Jordan?
Right.
It just would be a lot, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I hope for the kid that he's able to not only play in the NBA, but play somewhere where he can kind of niche out his own identity. His name's already Bronny. You know what I mean? Everything that we talk about with him, it always kind of folds back to his dad, rightfully so. He plays for USC, and his dad plays down the street for the Lakers. It's just an insane situation, and the way he's handled it, I'm a fan of Bronny, I really am, but I hope it goes somewhere else. I really do.
And to be honest, I agree with Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers has the right to say this. Austin Rivers' dad doesn't have to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan, or Kobe Bryant, okay, to make this statement. This is his opinion. He is free to have his opinion. So is Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson is free to have his opinion. If he thinks Austin Rivers is a bum, kudos to him. He can think that Austin Rivers is a bum. But what Austin Rivers is saying that Bronny is not that guy. Bronny's not a top 5, top 10 guy who should go team up with his dad, and everybody on the team will love it. Everybody on the team will love it. No, they won't, because Bronny is not even that type of player. If his dad wasn't LeBron James, it's hard for me to say that because LeBron is my favorite player of all time. But you can make the statement and say, hey, if Bronny James was playing the same way that he's playing right now, and the same way he was playing in high school, it's fair to say that Bronny James would not be a top 15 pick in the NBA draft, given that he is a good, solid player. He's a good defender. He can knock down a three. He's athletic. I can see him being a 3-and-D type of guy on the team, on even a championship team down the line, maybe in his 5th, 4th, or 6th year in the league. I can see that. But for Austin Rivers to say that, yeah, I don't see Bronny being that type of guy, like he needs to go make his own way instead of teaming up with his dad, because we all know that the teammates will not like that. They won't fancy that. They won't be fond of LeBron James' son having a spot on the roster, having a starting spot, being a 6th man because he's LeBron James' son. And we know that these organizations, they care about what? They care about who? Nothing but the money. And they know that will sell tickets. LeBron James sells tickets regardless. You add his son in the mix, of course, you will sell these seats out. And you can ticket these seats at any price. At any given price, and people will show up. But Bronny James is a solid player. But to say that Austin Rivers is a bum, come on. Austin Rivers was a top player in high school, number one, number two player in the nation, went to Duke, averaged 15 points, hit the game winning shot on North Carolina, went to the league, played 11 seasons, averaged 8.5 points in the NBA. I mean, it's not that much compared to NBA players, the average NBA player, but it's a decent amount of points. If you play 11 years in the league, you are good. That is my opinion. And that will forever be my opinion. If you play in the league for 10, 9, 8, 7, 12 years, I think the average lifespan in the NBA is what, 4 years, 4.5 years? And Austin Rivers doubled that. Okay, more than double that. He is a good player, and he also had a career high 41 points. So to say that he is not Bronny, he would never be Bronny, he's not half of what Bronny is. Oh, come on, man. Come on, it's hard to defend Bronny James in situations like this. And this is why people say the only reason Bronny got where he is now is because of his dad. Because people like Steven Jackson, who call out NBA players who played 10 plus years in the league and tell them like, hey, you were nowhere near Bronny James. And we know Bronny James wasn't even the best player on his high school team. That's just the sad truth. It is. But the thing that people like to do is bash one person to raise up another. You don't have to tear down one person to raise up this person. You don't have to do that, Steven Jackson. You could have said, hey, you know what, Bronny James, he's a good player, and I think he should play with his dad. But to call Austin Rivers a bum, a guy who was a top player, number one, number two player in the NBA, had a much better collegiate year than Bronny is having in his first year at Duke when he was the best player on the team. Bronny isn't even the second best player on the USC team right now for the Trojans. He's not the second best player. Austin Rivers was the go-to guy on Duke, even though they blew that game in the NCAA tournament to Lehigh and CJ McCollum. He was cooking Austin Rivers. Yes, he was. But Austin Rivers was the guy in college. Bronny has not been the guy in high school or college, given he's a great player. He's a good player. He is NBA talent. But to try to diminish what Austin Rivers did in his basketball career and just call him a bum is laughable. It really, truly is laughable, Steven Jackson. What were you thinking to just have that type of input? I don't know, man. And I don't agree with Austin Rivers when he said that only reason Bronny is getting these NIL deals is because of his dad. No, Bronny James is getting that because he's a good player. And people, of course, want to use the James name. That has to come into account. But Bronny is a good player. They're not just giving out money because he's LeBron's son. He's still a good player. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. But Steven Jackson, what were you thinking? And to be honest, guys, let's stay away from tearing down people just to raise up another. We don't have to do that. We can give praise. We can give adulation to somebody without demeaning and dogging and tearing down the next person, especially when you make foolish statements like this. Until next time, guys, peace.